Hi, my name is Easter Finley, and I am an assistant principal at Southwest High School. One of the technology systems that we use in our district is called Data Director. Data Director is an online repository for assessments such as CFAs, quarterlies, and of course exams, KC, CST, and many more. Part of my responsibility is to provide PLCs with assessment data that they can use to analyze and then determine what needs to be retaught for intervention. Now I will show you how to attain data from Data Director. First, you must log in. It brings you to a page that shows you what access do you have. So if you look here, I have access to National City Middle School, Southwest Learning Center, and Southwest Senior High. Now you may ask, why do you have access to all those sites if you only teach at Southwest Senior High? Well, I was a teacher at National City Middle School, and Southwest Learning Center is attached to Southwest Senior High. So that's why I have access to all three. But all I want to do is look at data available for Southwest Senior High. As we're waiting for the page to turn over, you might ask, why do I need to do this for PLCs? Don't PLCs have access to this information? The answer to that is yes, they do. However, they only have access for their own students. They don't have access to the whole school. As an administrator, I get to see all the assessments that are inputted into Data Director, and then I'm able to get a compiled report that I can give to them so that when they decide on a PLC-wide intervention, then they are able to use that data. From here, there are two places to proceed. There is a rectangular bar here with small buttons. Each button represents another tab that you can get into. This button is called a switcher. At the very button, that switcher is expanded and it actually tells you what they are. So the first one is overview, the second one is assessment, the second one is reports, the fourth one is curriculum, the fifth one is students, and the last one are programs. In order to get data, the simplest way to obtain assessment results is through the assessments. However, if you want to customize data, for example, you want to add demographics and other pertinent information such as CST, KC results, the kind of math class they have, then I can actually click on students and then run a customized reports for the PLC. For this demonstration, however, I will use the assessment tab. So I'm going to click once here. And immediately it takes me to a home page for assessments. And it asks me to refine my data. So under subject, I'm going to click on the word none, and right away a drop-down box come up and it shows you the type of assessments that are available. So I'm going to click on math, and then I'm going to click on search. And what that does is it removes everything that's non-math and only reveals all the math assessments that have been inputted into Data Director. District-wide assessments, school assessments, individual teachers' assessments are all in here if you use Data Director. For this demonstration, what I am going to do is show you how to obtain school-wide data for the end of course exam that was just administered this past June. So scroll down until you find the test that you need. So here is mine, and I'm going to click on Algebra EOC Spring version. What it does is it takes you to an assessment overview page of Southwest High School results for every single student that took the algebra end of course exam this past spring. And right away, you can see what the results were. As if you look at this bar graph, it shows you how many students scored far below basic, how many students scored below basic, how many students scored basic, proficient, and advanced. And if you click on each of this number, it will actually give you the list of students. However, that's not where we're going to go. What I want to do is to get a little bit more details on what students missed. So if you look at the right side of the screen, you will notice additional types of report. And what I would like is the school assessment report. So I'm going to click on that. And immediately you see a very colorful page. Now, as an administrator in charge of math, this would scare me because all I see are yellow, orange, and reds. But what you see here is that you can see every single teacher, what period they are, and then attached to it are the different standards that were tested on this end of course exam. And then it breaks down everything and shows you exactly how many students scored proficient in each of for the whole school. Again, it's too basic information, but what I want to do is scroll down, and then now I can see exactly what the standards are and how many items on that end of course exam was available. So if you look on here, I see that Algebra Standard 14 had the most questions at 9 questions. And this standard says students solve a quadratic equation by factoring or completing the square. So this particular standard had 9 questions. So I need to look at that. So if I look at 14, as you can see, the school did not do too well. Okay, so then my next step is to identify which question was indeed Algebra Standard 14. So if I look over here, I see that there's question 8 was one, and I can see that 82 people chose answer B. With the asterisk indicates that that's the correct answer. However, if you look right here, you saw that many kids chose D. So now this is a good way for teachers to really use this data and analyze what is it about answer D that students chose it over B. Let's look another one. Look at question 10. Question 10, again, the majority of the students chose D. However, 69 chose B. So that should ring a bell in the discussion of the PLC and say, hey, what is going on there? So once I'm done with getting this information, I print out a PDF report. It's not doing that. Well, anyways, I print out a PDF report and then I print it out in a color printer and give it to the teachers, and they have a protocol that they have to follow, and then they determine what days the interventions will be, and then we get the list of names from them as to who should be targeted. Phone calls, passes will be made on behalf of the teachers and the PLC, and then those students will have to attend either Saturday or after school. This is just one of the ways in which we use technology to help teachers analyze data to improve student performance.